Hello, this is Vance, and this is Friday, August the 15th, 2014, and this is the CL pre-market, but I'm also going to do the final recap from yesterday, and I'll try to do this very quickly. It's 8:15 right now, Eastern Standard Time. It's before 8:30 and before the open at 9 o'clock. Yesterday, we had a down day, and let me just show it to you. It was really just a downtrend day from the open. We had a section in here. This is where the open is 9 o'clock, right in here. And like when you're looking at it, when the open happened, we had this downtrend. It broke to a new low, and it was below the EMA. And you're thinking that, well, it could come up and retest this area right here, because yesterday I was talking about is that this area at the top, we had a kind of a fairly tight trading range yesterday, or on Thursday, on Wednesday. We had the DOE report, but it was a fairly tight trading range, like somewhere near 40 ticks or so. And it really respected it in the overnight, this area right here. But when it got down to this area for over, like right after the open, what it did was the price started to break down, and we had this overlap where price didn't into this tight trading range. It kind of tested down here a couple of times, came up to the EMA, and then by the time you get this line in here, this is really a failure at the EMA, failure at the EMA here, failure right here, and price moved down. Pulled back twice, first pullback, second pullback, another failure, and then from then on it was pretty much a confirmed downtrend. So anytime price came back to the EMA, we had a fairly rapid move down here. Anytime price came back to the EMA, came back to the trend line, it was really looking for a reason to go short and to stay with the trend. And it dropped. Like we went from the overnight high was 97.59. It finished up at the low of 95.26. So we had a $2.50 decline in price of oil. And the thing was, I was talking to a few traders yesterday, and in here, looking for purchase, but there's overlapping. There's, this indicates I waited through all this over an hour to see some kind of movement. It did come back, but finally, price finally fell off. It just kind of fell off and it went in the other direction. That's all. That's what happened. Getting down to the bottom, getting back to so we got down to this low of 95.26. Pulls back, and so now what we're in the process of seeing is that a kind of a tight trading range now from the overnight. Now, a couple of thoughts in this. What exactly transpired to make oil fall that much to go below 25? Let me take one other thing. I'll show you the. Let's take a look at the daily chart, or the 1440 minute. Here's where prices are right now. And you can see this was that area that I was talking about a few days ago, and we've broken down through here. Now we're down, and it happened in a fairly rapid move from yesterday. The only thing you could say is that it's a news-driven event. And what I mean by news-driven event is what has transpired yesterday that probably had the tremendous amount of influence in the price of oil. And the only thing that really comes to mind is the reports out of Europe and the European stock markets, and how things are slowed down there because of the potential sanctions with Russia. It works both ways. Not only does it work on the oil markets, like sanctions, like sanctions against Russia for the new distribution of supply from Russian oil, but also works in the other direction. Russia's not going to be buying any of the goods in Europe. And so if you have kind of a jittery economies in Europe, those prices go down, the price of oil in the short term will fall. And we saw that with strength of the U.S. dollar versus the European currency. We saw that as well. So it's really an issue of where Europe is really suffering, because at this point in time is because of potential sanctions, or what those sanctions will mean to the European economies as a whole. European economies are slow, less demand for oil, prices unwind, and that's probably what we're seeing likely right now. Things about pricing, however, is that the prices of anything, they typically markets run too far in the direction. Now, point is that how far is too far. After the close yesterday, of course, we had consolidation when oil opens this morning at 9 o'clock. Which direction are we going to be heading? Are we going to be continuing to sell off, or is it going to be kind of rested? Was the excesses of sell off too great yesterday, and that we'll have a bit of retracement? Plan A for me, I think we may be in for a bit of retracement. That's what I think. I think that markets almost always oversell. So I think it's gone a little too far at this point. Not saying that it won't continue to go down over that, but I think this drop, that $2.50 drop in one day, is a little bit too much. But I don't know. You have to see what price opens. Maybe the emotional momentum will carry prices significantly lower. That's plan B. Plan A is that we'll have a retracement. Plan B is that prices can continue to fall off. So those are the two plans for today. I mean, we're looking for a retracement, at least initially, or does it continue to fall off? So we'll have to see. In the overnight, and let's go back to that. In the overnight, price did come back. I mean, we had this, it's really a tight trading range. I mean, if you look at it from the perspective, prices at 32, pulled back, came down, pulled back again. So we're in this tight trading range. Come back and retest this low, or we can look at further retracement. Now, how many times is it retested? Well, it's retested basically from yesterday afternoon. It's been pulled back, and so that's the level that we're at currently. And how is it going? We've always had this double top here, and that will we have a failure in a retest to this bottom? We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, those are my thoughts from yesterday. As you can see, it was just basically as a downtrend, classic downtrend. You can see that anytime price pulled back to the EMA or to the trend channel is really a way to get in. And you can see that each of these sections that I've marked off, are pullbacks to the EMA or pullbacks to the trend channel. Oh, I should talk about these ones right here. This particular trade, the reason I marked this one in green is that this is barely 15 ticks to get to the bottom of this. Prices tied up, and you have these stems. After this was certainly an emotional move, quick move, comes back here. But these are definitely limit orders. You have to limit in on this one, and limit on this one, because your 15 ticks would just put you just above this one right here, and you don't know that price isn't going to come all the way back up here. So that's why I marked these in green. They're pretty aggressive trades. This is much better. It's a second entry short. Price comes up. What was acting as support is now going to acting as resistance. We have price pulls back down here, and you can see that it really chops around up here, pulls back down to this area, moves back up, and then the resistance really at the EMA, at the near this downward trend channel here. Not a real clean break. Moves down, comes back, and then there's another two failures down. Here's another second entry short right here. Price pulls back first time, and then second time, and that's rejection. Moves down even further. Maybe even this one. I mean, it's a little bit more aggressive, but again, tight trading range, and the bias is down. I mean, there's no question about it. So you stick with that until such time as when you can be proved differently. So that's it. So we got the overnight. You've got that. My thoughts are here. Remember, plan A is for retracement. Plan B is continuing down in the same direction. We'll see how things work out like this. Anyways, we're in 9 minutes now. I'll have a recap later on, see how this transpires. If you have any questions, please let me know. Bye for now.